hard times.
He's given his life to his work.
When facing an uncertain future.
You're ill, man.
Who says I'm not going to get better?
Would you help him solve what looks like his last case?
Means making sure of the past.
You're demanding that I join you in rewriting history.
An ITV drama premiere. Inspector Morse, The Wench is Dead. Wednesday at 8.
Well, next we well and truly stuff the week with a satirical swipe at the headlines.
My patient needs an important injection. Without a washing gut bottle, he's never going to get well. Not again. My patient is definitely getting worse. Oh, I'm never going to get better.
Because of its richer, longer-lasting suds, Fairy really does last longer than any other liquid.
Eddie's much better, but I still think he needs an operation.
Get fit the Netto way. Imagine that we are running to Netto for all our money for value bargains. Now pick up your Netto shopping bags full of fresh foods. Good. Now we are all fit. To push Netto trolleys packed with money for value foods, it's the only way to be. Netto, it's Scandinavian for value.
This is a man who loves food. He talks about it.
Come on, let's go.
He writes about it.
First one we're going on.
But above all, he still cooks it.
Perfect. Gotta have it now. Gotta have it now.
Now he wants you to enjoy what he does at home. Prepared by Gary Rhodes from his own recipes, there's a range of frozen ready-made dishes, all made with the finest ingredients. Rhodes to Home. One man's passion in a pack.
You'll find me in the freezer.
Our new business seat. One more reason people who fly for a living fly United.
Remember how Cheltenham and Gloucester mortgages are so streamlined? With no valuation fees, no mortgage indemnity premiums, and there's no need to buy your insurance from us. And because security is so important to you, we offer you the choice of a new range of fixed and capped rate mortgages. Call us now for all the details on 0800 333 900 or sail into any branch of Cheltenham and Gloucester, Lloyds Bank or TSB. Cheltenham and Gloucester.
You thought Fairy was just for babies.
Mom, wasn't me.
Don't worry.
But this is new Fairy. It can cope with the kind of mess big kids can get themselves into.
Tommy!
Doesn't matter, darling.
Better than any other non-bio powder. For great results with problems large and small.
You know you're not allowed that.
New Fairy, the softest non-bio, and now our cleanest.
He's the man. The hottest, coolest new star on television. Friday nights with Ian Wright. With guest stars Lionel Richie, Kathy Berg, Paul Weller, and Caprice. Friday nights, all right. Friday at 10:40 on ITV.
This is Carlton, the raunchy cop comedy Public Morals is in half an hour. First, let's hit the streets and stuff the week.
Hello, thanks very much, and welcome to Stuff the Week, the show that kicks through the pile of leaves that is the week's newspapers. With me, as always, are Ben, Paul and Will.
Or if... Oh, little half round of applause, why not? Or if you're watching in France, je m'appelle Belle, voici Dan, Paul et Will.
And if you're watching this in the 18th century, I am Mr. Powell, this is Professor Silburn, Dr. Gaster and Will, the young urchin boy.
God bless you, sirs. God bless you. Well done. Throw that man a shilling. OK, we've been going through the papers all week, so let's dive in with some stuff that we've noticed from today. Ben, what you got?
Yeah, OK, this is tabloid roundup. This is today's Mirror. Torment of gay minister. This is the witch hunt of Labour MPs continues. Just let me do my job, pleads outed Brown. This is a fantastic... Nick Brown's the latest, and the Mirror have devoted 3 pages to the tragic tale of how Nick Brown's life has been ruined by tabloid journalists. Completely missing the point of that story, the Mirror.
Fantastic. How have the Sun gone with that, then,
OK,
Paul?
well, they've got a slightly different approach. They've gone for a more aggressive angle. They've said, tell us the truth, Tony. Are we being run by a gay mafia? No! And what's very nice here is they've got a phone line here. If you're a closet gay MP to phone and out yourself. At the bottom, it says here, don't worry about the cost, we'll ring you back. So there are, a ruined career, but you've saved 10p there on the phone call.
Fantastic. And Will, over to you.
OK, well, finally, the other big story was the royal story. Liars, OK, this refers to Prince Charles, because there was a big TV show that went out last night called Charles at 50, and basically the show claimed that he'd be delighted if the Queen abdicated. Now, Charles said this was absolutely untrue, and it's not him that keeps leaving roller skates at the top of the palace stairs.
I don't know, it's understandable, I think, that Charles feels like this. It's like he's been waiting for, like, 30 years to get this job. It's like, you know, it's the longest training session ever. He's, like, well past his silver jubilee of not being king.
It must be so frustrating for him, though. It's like he's stuck in a queue in the post office, and the Queen is the equivalent of the little old lady in front of him who's paying her entire life savings in 1p pieces over 30 years!
Well, do you think that Charles might be practising in secret, you know, in the middle of the night, just going down to the throne room, maybe, and sort of perhaps drawing his own head on a stamp, maybe, just to sort of pretend?
Yeah, little mysterious, scrumpled-up bits of paper around the palace where he's been writing Charles III, yeah. The King, looks great. Hey, Roman numerals, I love it.
The thing is, he is in a hurry, though, because he's the Prince of Wales, and Wales is going to devolve, so he's actually have no title at all. He's going to be the royal formerly known as Prince.
The thing is, no, this is a classic piece of tabloid journalism. Obviously, what's happening is the journalist goes up to Charles, he goes, Charles, would you be delighted to be king?
Yes.
Ah, so Charles wishes Queen was dead. Oh, one more question, Charles. Should the Queen maybe buy herself a nice new dress?
Yes, all right, yes.
So you're saying she looks like an old tramp at the moment?
No, I like her clothes.
You like women's clothes? Charles is transvestite. OK, look, now this is another great story. The French tried to railroad us into renaming Waterloo, OK? This is Waterloo Station, of course, and it's the first thing the French see when they get off the Eurostar. Obviously, they're a bit miffed about the Battle of Waterloo.
Well, still sensitive. You know, just about the Battle of Waterloo, where Napoleon got his bony arse spanked by the British. Is that what you're saying?
That's the one, Tan, yeah.
Well,
the thing is, what they've said is that, right, if you don't change the name, we're going to change the name of our station to Fontenoy, where we defeated Britain in 1745.
Oh, the Battle of Fontenoy? As in the Battle of Fontenoy that nobody's ever heard of? Yeah! How can they do that to us?
Well, of course, it is a fair point by the French, and so we suggest that we could rename Waterloo. So how about Agincourt, maybe? Maybe that'd be a good idea.
See, now, the French aren't going to take that. They're going to retaliate. They're going to change the name of the Gare du Nord to the British are rubbish in bed.
Yeah, right. Well, then we immediately strike back with, well, French pop music is cack. All right.
Ah, say the French. What about Jean-Michel Jarre?
Ah, exactly.
OK, so the French, well, we gave you Jacques Cousteau.
We've got David Attenborough.
OK, we've got Tintin.
No, he's Belgian.
Ah! Oh, shit, that was my last post-it.
Yeah, as I said, Waterloo. Ha!
So, well, there we have it. Waterloo Station remains Waterloo, and the French Gare du Nord becomes Gare du Shit. That's my last post-it.
Well, you heard it here first. That's all I can say.
OK, well, it's that time of year again. There's excitement in the air. Children's eyes are wide with anticipation at the forthcoming festivities. That's right, tomorrow is National Curry Day. It's the annual celebration that's now bigger than Christmas.
Sounds fantastic, it really does.
They just have the best curries, it's hottest.
It's estimated that up to 500,000 people in Britain eat curry every day. Don't they get sick of it?
But with tomorrow being National Curry Day, the whole of the nation will be celebrating the joys of Indian cuisine by, well, having a curry.
Let's do it.
Here, the rituals of this ancient tradition are practiced by the faithful.
4 pints of lager, please, and some poppadoms.
At home, the children are taught that every year on Curry Day, a kindly old man, Papa Poppadom, visits all the curry eaters of the world and pours prawn madras down the chimney. Waking up first thing in the morning, they're delighted to find their stockings filled with goodies, like lamb jalfrezi. And what's this? Why, it's a snack for Papa Poppadom. A little bargee and a half a pint of lager.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! National Curry Day!
Oh, come on, let's open our presents.
Oh, okay. Go on. It's just a stupid...
Rogan Josh! What's this? Hey, it's a violet lager. Cheers.
This is for me. This is for me. This is for me.
Tikka masala.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, my favourite. What have we got here?
That's from me. It's
tikka masala. Another one. Well, you can never have too many tikka masalas.
Come on.
What is it?
Oh, here we go. Hey!
Yeah.
It's a boona.
Boona.
That's what you wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, boona. Or biryani. Whatever.
National Curry Day become too commercialised?
Well, our boy, he wanted a, what was it called again? Sagaloo. You couldn't get one anywhere. So we had to get him a, what was it called again?
Aloo gobi.
Aloo gobi. It's the same kind of thing, isn't it? I'd hate to disappoint, what was he called again? Barry, that's the thing.
I'm stuffed.
Yeah, it can't beat a good curry.
All right, that's 16 quid each, all right?
What do you mean, 16 quid each? We're not splitting the bill. I don't even have any lager.
We said we'd split the bill.
No, I'm not. I had cheaper dishes than everyone else.
You had a side dish of vegetable curry.
No, I'm not splitting the bill.
Well, that's what we're doing.
No, you've ruined it. You've ruined National Curry Day. Right, next year I'm going to spend Curry Day at home with my family.
National Curry Day there. And must say we had a fantastic time filming that, although, Dan, you do still owe me 16 quid.
Yeah, up your granny's arse.
Bit touchy. You can email us your Curry Day greetings or a general response to Paul involving your granny's arse to stufftheweek@gmg.co.uk. There it is.
OK, well, just a quick story. Now, this was the Sunday Mirror headline. I beat up Marina in drunken rage. Now, of course, what everyone wanted to know about this was, who the hell is Marina? Now, the thing is that this was actually a big scoop because she is royalty. Yes, she is. And I can prove that because I've got the royal family tree here. Now, this is the main royal family here. Looks like someone's just crossed out Elizabeth II and written in Charles III there. I don't know who could have done that, but anyway, what we can do is we can just open it up. She's not actually on this bit. We have to go this way a little bit. Open it up. Well, not quite on this bit. We have to open it a little bit further, probably. I'm sure she is royalty. Down here, maybe. Yes, here she is. Here we are. She is royalty, along with corgis, Custard and Charles's horse. Though, of course, she moves up here if she marries Charles. Back to you guys.
OK, let's go over the pond now to America. with this story. It's the congressional elections which took place last week, and the Republicans failed in their bid to nail Bill Clinton. In fact, the Democrats actually gained 5 seats.
Yeah, this has led to the resignation of the Republican Speaker, Newt Gingrich, a man famed for his ability to swallow a fly at 50 feet.
The whole thing, though, has spectacularly blown up in Gingrich's face. It's a bit like that bit in Roadrunner. We have Wile E. Coyote with his Acme rocket, and he fires it, and it goes towards the Roadrunner. At the last bit, it just comes back at him and blows up in his face.
But I think that is fair punishment for what was basically lame campaigning by Newt Gingrich, because he went on national television and he said, now listen, Bill Clinton, he's totally ruined the country's economy. No? You don't buy that? He's totally ruined the education system. With healthcare. Well, he got a blowjob off Monica Lewinsky!
And the entire country's going, yes, we know, yes, and...
But it's not fair, that's all. It's not fair. I didn't get one.
Although, to be fair to Newt, he set out to bring down a leading politician, and he did, only it was himself.
Possibly just half marks there for Newt. But, of course, this is a really difficult challenge for the Republicans. Can they replace him? And, of course, the task is very difficult because they've got to find someone with an equally stupid name as Newt Gingrich.
Well, there's 3 contenders who have come forward so far. There's Bob Livingston, there's Christopher Cox, and then there's the current favourite, Chuttleberry von Zobwang Plisky Plosky the 13th.
It's going to be his.
The third
no
one.
question.
Meanwhile, you've got Clinton sitting there thinking, well, hang on, I get a blowjob from Monica, and we gain 5 seats. OK, guys, fetch my cigars and send in the intern.
Now, the internet's been in the news this week. This is a new government initiative to get internet into schools, with 700 million spent, according to the Daily Telegraph.
Well, though, actually, in the Mirror, Ben, it says 930 million.
Well, it's actually $1 billion in The Guardian, if you look at that.
Oh, and in fact, in the Daily Star here, they didn't run it at all. I guess they couldn't think of a number bigger than $1 billion.
Yeah. I think it's quite hard, but I guess we know if they had the internet in all schools, what will happen? Of course, children will all become master hackers overnight, won't they?
Well, they'll be hacking into the school timetable and giving themselves free time. They'll be like, hey, triple free time again!
School's out. Not everyone's happy, of course. The leader of the Teachers' Union immediately started complaining about it. He said, we could end up with a surplus of computers, but a shortage of teachers.
Yeah, think about it.
So we'll end up in this situation where you've got these computers teaching all the class, and the kids, if they behave themselves, will get half an hour at the end of the day to mess about with the teacher.
OK, but I'm sure we're all agreed that basically the internet is a very important educational tool. You know, it's very important that our kids, you know, get this chance. So let's just spend a moment now looking at how The Sun have covered the story. Basically, they've got a little piece on the £1 billion, and they've got 7 paragraphs. I just want to run through some highlights. In paragraph 1, kids will be banned from seeing cyberspace's notorious porn. Paragraph 3, youngsters could access porn as they surf the net. 4, kids could tap into sex websites. Paragraph 5, access to sex websites will be restricted. And 7, pupils will be protected from porn.
So just to recap, that's porn, no porn, 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 no porn, porn.
Yeah, right? I think that's a pretty accurate summary of the article.
So, where can I get this internet?
OK, and just before we go into break, there's a very quick story now. In Friday's Mirror, a 9-day-old baby has become Britain's youngest ever passport holder, and we're delighted to have the passport with us tonight, and this is what it looks like. Fantastic. And there's fun inside. Hey, there we go, excellent. We'll be back in the second half with lederhosen, chemical weapons, and Will Carling getting punched in the mouth. Stay with it, please.
Pharmaton Capsules. The unique combination of vitamins, minerals and purified ginseng helps you stop feeling slow. Fight fatigue with Pharmaton.
Taste oranges straight from the tree, croissants straight from the oven, eggs straight from the farm. And now, taste coffee straight from the bean. Using a special process straight after roasting, Douwe Egberts brings you Caffinesse. All you do is add hot water. And to keep it tasting this fresh, you'll find it in the chiller cabinet. New Caffinesse. Great tasting coffee straight from the bean. From Douwe Egberts.
Oh, if it's not burnt, you're a custard short of a pudding.
They've taken our shirts, our razors. They've even taken our underwear.
We don't wear their undies. Well, sometimes, but you know, just for fun.
And they've moved in on our aftershave. But here's one that's definitely just for men. Whitewater from Old Spice. It's fresh. No, fresher than that. That's it. Sharing's fine. But with aftershave, let's keep it his and hers.
If I can get an extra tub, Mum says you can come back to my place.
Dream on.
Oh.
Buy one tub of Haagen-Dazs, get one free at Safeway.
Ooh, potato. Roller skates.
That. Tow truck.
Everyone loves playing games, so play Pictionary, one of the get-together games.
If your kids are into computers, why not give them their own desktop PC? It not only teaches them maths,
Wow!
English,
Yeah!
trivia and logic games, but it also teaches children computer skills.
Fantastic.
IQ Desktop PC looks and feels like a real computer.
And it's mine.
IQ Desktop PC from IQ Builders.
Orange believe a mobile phone should be the most reliable thing you ever use.
Hello.
That's why we give all our Talk Plan customers a performance promise. A promise that means if we ever lose any call you make and you redial, we'll give you back up to a minute of talk time free.
Moo! Ta-da!
Orange, the only network with a performance promise. Call 0800 80 1080.
Welcome back to part two. Quick story here about a former atom bomb site that's now been used as a camel sanctuary. We've got one of its residents here.
OK, now, surprising news from the Ministry of Defence. Now, the MOD Germ Warfare Unit is to produce a range of cosmetics. All right? That's a move from biological weapons to skincare products. All right, that's what it says. Now, it says it's an anti-wrinkle cream derived from one of the world's most deadly biological agents.
Hang on. What's really bothering me is, how did they find out? Dropping chemicals in the Iraqis, and they go, it's not working! They're still coming! They're still coming! Hang on. Their skin. It's really smooth.
That's right, we shelled half of the Iraqi forces using a conventional shampoo.
Well, an MOD source said, this is a quote, "The mindset you need to approach a supermarket is very different from the mindset you need to approach a military customer."
Well could be very embarrassing, couldn't it? Now, right, chaps, here's the plan. We advance through the freezer section, regroup by the delicatessen, and then we'll napalm the wet fish counter.
The final bit, it says, if used in minute amounts, the toxin merely suppresses the cells that cause wrinkles, rather than destroying the entire body. Good grief, that really is scary, isn't it?
Removes ugly blemishes, like skin.
Take 2 chemical weapons into the shower. No need, my hair's fallen out.
Get rid of irritating upper body parts with no head and shoulders.
OK, well, the Euro now, and speaking on TV yesterday, Gordon Brown came out and nailed his colours to the mast. He said that at some stage in the future, there would definitely be a meeting at which probably there might be some decisions made about the Euro, possibly.
Right. Well, the Euro is always controversial. Everyone's fighting, and that's just over the design of the banknote. But what do the British think? Well, watch this.
Well, here I am enjoying my morning continental breakfast. I have my cappuccino, my croissant, my daily copy of De Volkskrant. I'm wearing my favourite lederhosen, and on my feet I have clogs. Like it or not, the influence of Europe is making its way more and more into our lives. And this January, the single European currency grinds into action.
Your bill, sir. That will be 14 euros.
Euros? Fuck off. The thing is, we don't want a single European currency. We like our pounds, shilling and pence. So while we may want their petit déjeuner, we say non, non to their stinking foreign cash. Gone will be the traditional British monetary slang, such as monkey and pony, replaced instead by the standardised euro baboon. Well, here in Britain, we're going to take from Europe those things we want, and we're going to leave the rest well alone. And what's wrong with that?
Sir, your Scandinavian pornography has arrived.
Shh, shh. We've come here to just outside the Swiss Centre to find out what people want on their banknotes.
Ah, Tim Henman.
Nelson's Column.
Tower of London.
Stonehenge.
Carrots.
Wham. Flowers.
Really expensive strawberries.
Jimmy Wyatt.
Right, so the results of our survey are as follows. Wolf off of Gladiators, Alison Moyet eating expensive strawberries from Wimbledon and chips in the rain at Chessington World of Adventures.
So now, as a Stuff the Week exclusive, we've commissioned a typically English artist to produce a design depicting these typically English things. His name is Valentine, and we're now going to take him off to a secret location back at London Weekend Television.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow, just you wait and see.
How's it doing?
Hi guys,
Hey! Well done!
Very good.
That looks very good.
How much is that then?
It's got to be £10, mate.
£10?
Yep, only £10.
So that's about 14 euros. Oh, there you go.
Euros? What's that? Fuck off, mate.
There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Euros. Fuck off, mate. Fuck off, mate. What are you talking about? A good picture of Alison Moyet there, looking slightly like a cat. Excellent. So now it's time for one of my favourite kinds of stories. This is called the story, and it's independent on Sunday. Doctors plan genetic twin for every child. OK, so it's human cloning, and rather pleasing, they've got a photo here of a baby which could, in theory, be cloned. But, in fact, of course, hasn't been at all. It's just a baby. And what's going to happen is, apparently, soon, children at birth will automatically be cloned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Could make for very unusual family photographs, couldn't it? Little boy standing there next to a test tube. Along with a camera going, "I'm making him smile, Trevor! Go on!"
Well, what's going to happen is they're just going to, like, keep these cells on standby to grow spare body parts, you know, in an emergency. So in the meantime, they just bung them in a freezer.
Oh,
that's what happens.
and then if you need to get him out quick, just bung him in the microwave, defrost him.
That's right, although that does conjure up a slightly uneasy image of, like, a child, like, needing an operation and actually being transplanted with a microwave lasagna, which...
Or even worse, you know, someone biting into a microwave lasagna and actually ending up biting someone's arm.
Yeah, although if you've ever eaten a microwave lasagna, you know that actually might not be too bad. An arm might be preferable. And also, there's another cloning story this week. There's a guy who's actually claimed now that he can totally reproduce human life by simply depositing his sperm inside a female donor, ideally with big tits. So, look out for that one coming.
OK, Will Carling is back in the news now, and he's lost yet another job. This time, another TV contract, and it turns out that leaving his girlfriend just before the wedding was the biggest lapse of judgment since Ron Davis said, "I think I'll go for a wander on Clapham Common."
So we thought the time was right for a full and complete
Will Carling Disaster Watch.
OK, so 25th of September, he leaves his girlfriend.
6th of October, lucrative testimonial axed.
OK, 9th of October, faces a TV axe for the World Cup rights.
OK, down here, 30th of October, punched up by former colleague.
And then 5th of November, book signing, no one turns up, books have to be reduced, OK? But we think that this may just be the tip of the iceberg, and there's a few more nasty headlines coming his way.
500 pigeons shit on Carling's head.
Carling trips himself over and accidentally kicks his own face.
And finally, Carling plans holiday in Honduras.
Just doesn't get any better for him, does it?
Oh, dear.
Still, from Will Carling to sport. Or rather, sports education, right? There's a university has now offered a degree in rugby playing. Of course, universities already offer a rugby player's degree. It's called geography.
So what do they teach? Well, I've got the syllabus here. Now, we've got a picture of the pitch here, and the first thing that they have to do is colour that in. OK, that's the first term. And if they pass that, then they move on to that, joining the dots. That's the second term there. So, really, it's a hard course, that one.
And, by the way, this year they're offering a special Will Carling module. That's when you work really hard for a year, and then you get stripped of your degree and then booted out on your arse.
And 500 pigeons shit on your head for no readily explainable reason. OK, before we go, it's just time to look at tomorrow's Video Plus number. Coronation Street has 451,792. Ken Hom's Hot Walk, 2345, and a portion of 58. Darts goes with 180. Tomorrow's World, E squared minus pi. No, the bill goes with 999. 999 has to go with 998, slightly annoying for them. And Charles has 5K 07708, which upside down is bollocks. We'll see you next week. Good night!
I don't want to be on a Euro. You got a problem with that?
All I wanted was a sweet distraction for an hour or two.